If your home feels too crowded, too heavy, or even a little unsafe, you are not alone. Many of us, after years of living in the same space, find ourselves surrounded by things we no longer need but can't quite let go of. And it can make every step, every corner feel just a little harder. Today, at TheSeniorNest, I'll show you 10 gentle but powerful ways to bring clarity, safety, and peace back into your home. These aren't just cleaning tips, they are steps toward living lighter, safer, and more joyfully in the life you're living right now. Take Margaret, age 72. Her kitchen was overflowing, cabinets packed, drawers stuck, countertops covered. She felt overwhelmed every time she tried to cook. But when she learned one simple shift, imagining she was moving into a smaller, cozier home, suddenly the decisions became easier. She kept only what truly served her life today. And now she begins every morning at a clear, peaceful tea station. Just that one change gave her space, calm, and a new morning ritual. And that's just the first of 10 insights we'll walk through together. In fact, the final one might surprise you. It's the most joyful, the one that turns decluttering from a lonely chore into a moment of laughter and connection. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you won't just see your home differently, you'll feel different inside it. Part 1. Imagine you are moving with kindness. Imagine, just for a moment, that you are preparing to move into a smaller, brighter home, maybe a cottage with sunlight spilling across the floor, or an apartment close enough to hear your grandchildren laughing in the afternoons. Now, picture yourself walking through your current home with that new chapter in mind. As you pass each object, the unused appliances, the stack of magazines, the clothes untouched for years, ask yourself gently, would I carry this with me into that next season of life? When you shift your perspective in this way, decluttering stops feeling like loss. It becomes an act of kindness, a way of choosing what still serves you, what still brings comfort, and what deserves to journey forward with you. This process is not about erasing the past. It is about honoring it. Every item you keep is a reflection of who you are today, not just who you once were. I once guided Helen, a retired librarian, through this exercise. Her attic was overflowing with boxes she hadn't opened in 2 decades, yet when she imagined moving into the sunny little apartment she dreamed of, her choices became clear. She kept her photo albums, her favorite quilt, and a few beloved books and released the rest. When she was done, she told me her home finally felt like it could breathe again, and so could she. Decluttering with kindness isn't about emptiness. It's about continuity, about carrying forward only the things that nourish your health, your spirit, and your joy. Part 2. Look up, use your vertical space. Have you ever felt like every surface in your home is already full, as if there is simply no more room for anything else? Many people stop there, frustrated, believing they must either live with the mess or buy more furniture. But often, the secret to creating space isn't about adding more. It's about looking differently at what you already have. And sometimes the answer is as simple as looking up. Our walls, corners, and even the backs of our doors hold untapped potential. When you begin to see vertical space as part of your home's storage, suddenly cluttered floors can feel lighter and safer. Imagine a hallway where a slim shelf carries family albums instead of boxes stacked on the ground. Or a kitchen where mugs hang neatly under a cabinet rather than filling the countertop. These small adjustments do more than free space. They make your home easier to move through, reducing tripping hazards and giving you peace of mind. I remember visiting Mr. Johnson, a retired teacher who lived in a modest apartment. His kitchen counters were always crowded, leaving him little room to prepare meals. Together, we looked at the unused walls above his cabinets and the empty space behind a door. By adding a few hooks for his pans and floating shelves for spices, we transformed his kitchen without buying a single new cabinet. The result wasn't just practical, it gave him a sense of order and calm he hadn't felt in years. The beauty of vertical storage is its quiet simplicity. A shelf above the washing machine for towels, a pegboard in the garage for tools, or a pocket organizer behind a closet door for scarves and gloves, each small change brings clarity and ease. And as we age, having fewer things on the floor and more within reach means not just a tidier house but a safer one. When you learn to look up, you discover that your walls don't just hold memories. They can also hold peace, making your home work with you rather than against you. Part 3: 1 in, 1 out. Have you ever noticed how quickly clutter sneaks back in even after you've tidied a room? It's like a tide that keeps rising, slowly filling our closets, shelves, and drawers until the space feels heavy once again. The truth is, decluttering isn't just a one-time project, it's a rhythm, a habit. And one of the gentlest yet most powerful habits you can create is the rule of 1 in, 1 out. Here's how it works. Each time something new comes into your home, a shirt, a kitchen gadget, even a pair of shoes, you let go of one item you already own. It's a simple practice, but its impact is remarkable. Instead of allowing belongings to pile up endlessly, you create balance. You invite yourself to pause before every purchase and ask, do I truly need this? And if I do, what can I release in exchange? I once spoke with Robert, a retired engineer in his late 60s who had a fondness for jackets. Over the years, his closet had grown crowded, leaving him frustrated every morning when he tried to choose what to wear. When he began the 1 in, 1 out habit, everything changed. For every new jacket, he donated one he no longer wore. Slowly, his closet became lighter, and he told me that he even felt lighter inside, as though he was carrying less weight on his shoulders, not just in his wardrobe. This approach works anywhere in the house. When you bring home a new cookbook, pass along the one gathering dust. Replace a worn towel with a fresh one and let the old fabric go. It's not about deprivation, it's about intention. Each choice becomes an affirmation that what enters your home must earn its place. Adding comfort, joy, or beauty to your daily life. Think of it as breathing in and out, allowing newness to arrive while gently releasing what no longer serves. This balance keeps your home clear, your routines easier, and your spirit calmer. When we embrace 1 in, 1 out, clutter no longer has the power to creep in unnoticed. Instead, our homes remain in harmony, always reflecting the life we are living today. Part 4: Bless your entryway. Think for a moment about the very first space you see when you return home. It's where your shoes land, where your keys get tossed, where your coat finds a temporary corner. For many of us, that entryway becomes a jumble of bags, mail, and shoes that pile up without notice. And yet this space, small as it may be, sets the tone for the entire home. Imagine walking in at the end of a long day. Would you rather be greeted by chaos or by calm? Your entryway is more than just a hallway. It is the handshake of your home, the gentle welcome that tells your body and your mind, you are safe here, you can rest now. When clutter gathers at the door, stress follows you inside. But when order and care shape that space, you cross the threshold into peace. Creating a transition zone doesn't require renovation or expensive furniture. A simple bench with baskets underneath for shoes, a tray or bowl for keys and glasses, a row of hooks for coats and scarves, these small choices transform the daily rhythm of coming and going. Suddenly, the question of where are my keys, or why can't I find my bag, disappears, replaced by a smooth flow that saves both time and energy. I remember Mrs. Wilson, a grandmother in her 70s who often watched her grandchildren after school. She confessed that she used to trip over little sneakers scattered across her hallway almost every day. Together, we added a bench with cubbies and a few wall hooks. The result was more than just neatness, it was relief. She smiled and told me, "It feels like my home says welcome back every time I walk through the door." And that's the deeper gift of blessing your entryway. It's not only about organizing shoes or hanging coats. It's about shaping the way your home greets you, about inviting calm and clarity the very moment you step inside. In caring for this small space, you set the tone for everything that follows. Part 5. Clear bins, clear mind. Have you ever opened a closet or cabinet only to feel frustrated because you couldn't find what you were looking for? Often, the problem isn't that we own too much, but that we can't see what we already have. Things get hidden in dark boxes, pushed to the back of shelves, or buried at the bottom of drawers. Out of sight quickly becomes out of mind. And when we can't see, we forget, we double buy, and clutter quietly grows again. That's why one of the simplest yet most powerful changes you can make is switching to clear storage. Transparent bins and containers might sound ordinary, but they carry an extraordinary benefit: clarity. With a single glance, you know exactly what's inside. No rummaging, no digging, no guessing. Suddenly, the pantry becomes easier to manage, the garage feels less overwhelming, and the linen closet no longer hides 3 sets of forgotten sheets. I once worked with Nancy, a retired teacher in her late 60s who felt defeated by her pantry. Every time she cooked, she ended up buying ingredients she already had, simply because she couldn't see them. Together, we reorganized her shelves with clear bins, each one labeled for rice, pasta, cereals, and baking supplies. The next week, she called me laughing. She had discovered 4 open boxes of the same cereal hiding in the back. With everything visible, she combined them, freed up an entire shelf, and for the first time in years, cooking felt joyful instead of stressful. The beauty of clear bins is not only in visibility but also in peace of mind. They stack neatly, make use of vertical space, and give each item a defined place. That means less searching, less waste, and more ease in daily routines. And for older adults, it brings safety too: fewer heavy boxes to dig through, fewer sharp bends and awkward lifts. When we choose clarity in our storage, we invite clarity into our lives. Clear bins don't just hold belongings, they hold freedom, reminding us that organization doesn't need to be complicated to be powerful. With every shelf that becomes visible, your mind feels lighter and your home becomes a calmer place to live. Part 6. Repurpose what you already have. So often when a space feels crowded, our first thought is, I need to buy more storage. But here's a little secret: in most homes, the solution is already right in front of us. Instead of spending money on new shelves or bins, what if we looked at what we already own with fresh eyes? Repurposing isn't just practical, it's creative, personal, and deeply satisfying. Every home holds objects that have outlived their original purpose but are still full of potential. An old ladder can become a charming rack for blankets. A magazine holder once forgotten can stand upright in the kitchen to organize foil and parchment paper. A wine rack can cradle rolled towels in the bathroom. Suddenly, what was once clutter becomes useful again. This shift is not only about storage. It's about breathing new life into things, about letting them serve you in a different season of your life. I remember Tom, a retired woodworker in his 70s who had a stack of old picture frames gathering dust. Instead of throwing them out, he added a bit of mesh behind one frame and turned it into a jewelry display for his wife. It saved drawer space and, more beautifully, transformed her favorite earrings into wall art. What once sat forgotten in the attic became a daily joy hanging in her dressing room. Repurposing also nurtures a sense of stewardship. It reminds us that usefulness doesn't have to end when an item's first role is over. Just as we, in later chapters of life, continue to bring wisdom and love in new ways, our belongings too can find second lives. This is not just about saving money or reducing waste, though both are valuable. It's about looking around your home and realizing, I already have what I need to make this space work better for me. When you repurpose what you already have, your home begins to feel less like a burden and more like a partner, flexible, creative, and ready to support the life you are living today. Part 7. Make decluttering a gentle routine. So many people think decluttering must be a huge event, a full weekend spent pulling everything out of closets, exhausting themselves until the house looks like a storm passed through. And it's no wonder we avoid it, because who wants to face that kind of stress? But the truth is, decluttering doesn't need to be overwhelming. In fact, the most lasting results come not from big bursts of energy, but from small, steady rhythms. Think of it like tending a garden. You don't wait until weeds have overtaken every inch to start pulling them out. Instead, you spend a few minutes each week, gently maintaining, keeping the space alive and welcoming. In the same way, decluttering works best when it becomes a gentle part of daily or weekly life. 10 minutes after your morning coffee, 15 minutes before dinner, these little rituals add up, keeping your home light without ever feeling like a burden. I once spoke with Emma, a grandmother in her mid-60s who dreaded cleaning days. She would put them off for weeks, only to end up exhausted and frustrated when the day finally came. Then she tried something new, a Sunday routine of just 15 minutes focused on one small area, a drawer, a shelf, or a single corner. Within weeks, she told me her home began to feel consistently peaceful. The mess never built up and she never felt overwhelmed again. The beauty of this approach is that it reshapes your relationship with your home. Instead of seeing decluttering as punishment or a task to fear, you see it as a rhythm, as natural as folding laundry or watering plants. These small, repeated acts create momentum, a sense that your home is always gently moving toward order, never slipping too far away. Decluttering doesn't have to be about perfection. It's about progress, small steps that give you more room to breathe, more freedom to move, and more peace in your everyday life. When you let it become a gentle routine, you discover that care for your home can feel less like work and more like an act of kindness you gift yourself again and again. Part 8. Store what you use most within reach. Have you ever found yourself climbing onto a chair to reach a dish you use every day, or bending low to dig out the pan you cook with most often? These little moments may not seem like much when we're younger, but as the years go by, they can become risks, slips, strains, even dangerous falls. The truth is, organizing isn't just about neatness. It's about safety, ease, and giving yourself the comfort of a home that works with you, not against you. The key is simple: store what you use most within easy reach. Think about the items that shape your daily life: your morning coffee mug, your medications, the saucepan you reach for every dinner. Those belong at eye level or within arm's reach, where you can find them without stretching or stooping. Less used items like serving platters for holidays or extra bedding for guests can live higher up or tucked away. Rarely used keepsakes and seasonal items belong in storage spaces where they won't interrupt your everyday flow. I once worked with Carlos, a widower in his mid-60s, whose kitchen always felt like an obstacle course. His most used plates were stacked high on a shelf, while the heavy, slow cooker he only touched once a year sat right at eye level. Every meal became a struggle. We swapped the placement, everyday dishes down low, the slow cooker up high, and the difference was immediate. Suddenly, he told me, my kitchen started working for me, not against me. This small adjustment carries big benefits. It reduces unnecessary movement, lowers the chance of accidents, and creates a sense of ease in your daily routines. More importantly, it sends a quiet but powerful message: my comfort matters, my safety matters. When your home is arranged to support your body and your habits as they are today, not as they once were, you give yourself freedom. Freedom to cook without strain, to move without hesitation, to live with confidence in the space you call home. Part 9. Digitize to free space and protect memories. Paper clutter has a way of sneaking in quietly: old bills, birthday cards, piles of letters, photo albums gathering dust. Before long, drawers overflow and shelves feel heavy. But here's the truth: you don't have to choose between keeping your memories and keeping your space. By digitizing, you can do both. A simple scan of important documents, a photo of a handwritten letter, or creating a digital album of family pictures means your history is preserved, safe, and always accessible without taking over your home. I remember John, a retired small business owner who cleared 2 filing cabinets after scanning his papers. The empty corner became a reading nook he had always dreamed of. Digitizing isn't about letting go of your past, it's about honoring it in a new way. Less paper means less clutter and more room for the life you're living right now. Part 10. Declutter with a friend or join a challenge. Decluttering can feel heavy when we face it alone. The memories, the decisions, the emotions, sometimes they weigh more than the boxes themselves. But when we share the process with someone else, everything changes. Laughter softens the task, stories rise to the surface, and what once felt overwhelming becomes lighter. I think of Lisa, a retiree in her early 70s who joined a simple 30-day challenge with her niece. Each day they texted photos of what they let go of, sometimes old clothes, sometimes forgotten knickknacks. By the end of the month, Lisa had cleared 3 closets. But more importantly, she said she felt as though she had taken her life back, one drawer at a time. Decluttering together is more than getting rid of things. It is about connection, encouragement, and creating new memories while making space for the old. Because in the end, the home you shape is not just about what you store, but about who you share it with. We've walked through 10 gentle yet powerful ways to lighten your home and your life. Imagining a fresh start, looking up to use your vertical space, keeping balance with one in, one out, blessing your entryway. Choosing clear bins, repurposing what you already own, making decluttering a routine, storing essentials within reach, digitizing to protect memories, and finally, sharing the journey with someone else. Each step may seem small on its own, but together they create something much greater, a home that reflects who you are today, not just who you were years ago. A home that feels safer, calmer, and more supportive of the life you want to live now. At TheSeniorNest, we believe decluttering isn't really about letting go of things. It's about making space for peace, for joy, for connection, for new memories yet to come. So perhaps this week, choose just one of these steps and try it. Notice how even the smallest change can shift not only your home, but the way you feel within it. And remember, this is not a race, but a journey. We'll be here walking it with you, one gentle step at a time. Until next time, may your home and your heart always have room for what matters most.